Well, hi everybody. 8 years ago I produced a video of this P-80's maiden flight out in California, which was originally made in 1979. That video was produced from an old VHS tape, and it was pretty blurry and unclear. And I've got the link in the notes, so if you want to watch it, you can. I received this plane from Pete Gallardo when his dad died. I managed to get it to fly back then in his honor, and it was just really a great flyer. It has an Italian Rossi 61 two-stroke engine on a tuned pipe, turning a Byron Birojet ducted fan at 21,000 RPM. The sound is absolutely deafening. Well, this is the same type engine and fan I used in my F-16 that I flew in the movie Blue Thunder with Roy Scheider. The plane is quite complicated with air retracts and flaps. Originally there were complications with the fuel tanks and the retracts. Always had the problems with it. Well, I flew it many times successfully, but leaking fuel at the time had deteriorated the RTV that was used back then to hold lots of things together. And one day the extreme heat from the tuned pipe melted the wires and air hoses, where all the wiring burned up when it shorted, and it really became a mess. Well, it's been hanging in my garage for 37 years now, and I knew it was going to be a difficult job to try to restore it if I ever did. And since I began to start flying my gas planes again, I kept looking at it, and I finally decided to tackle the project. Because I remember it always flew really nice. Well, as you can see from these pictures, it really was a mess. It had ACE kit servos in it that were frozen and absolutely not usable. The aileron servo and flap servos are aerotronics, and they seem to be working because they're good stuff. But I had to remount the new elevator and throttle servos and install a receiver battery, new tank and fuel lines, plus a new switch and harness, and a battery. I elected not to use the retracts, as all the hoses are brittle and cracked and are virtually impossible to get into to reach. I also remember the nose gear was always collapsing on the landings a lot too, so I just went ahead and decided to make them fixed for this restoration. I did not recover the wing, but I did repaint the fuselage, nothing fancy. It's not perfect, but should look pretty good in the air. And instead of the heavy NiCad receiver pack, I used a 1300 milliamp 7.4 LiPo and a BEC from an electronic speed control, and I'm using an orange receiver with a satellite receiver on 2.4 gigahertz. Well, I'm also going to mount my Mobius cam behind the canopy and hope to get some air video. I'm going to show you how I start the engine, and I finally have found a suitable place to attempt to fly it. And here's how it went. About 7-mile-an-hour wind here this morning.
Okay, I'll come downwind. Oh, stalling. Oh. Coming down the runway.
The glow plug failed. It was a downwind flame out, stalled and crashed. I lowered the flaps here. That was a mistake because it was out of trim with the flaps down, and being 12 pounds and a bit tail heavy, it just went right into a snap. It was fun though while it lasted, and just another lesson in my learning curve. If I can find another tuned pipe like that, I may try to put it back together. The wing is okay, sort of. Just goes to show that everybody crashes sooner or later, and thanks kindly for watching, everybody. See you next time.